Welcome to the Books Bible Study. We are continuing on with our reading of the scripture. Today's scripture is coming from Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. Now he said to Moses, "Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar." Verse 2. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come near, nor shall the people go up with him. Verse 3. So Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, "All the words which the Lord has said we will do." So they've heard of the commandments and the consequences for not following those commandments, and they all agreed to the word that the Lord had said. Verse 4. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and he rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 5. Then he sent young men of the children of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. So for a burnt offering, the entire animal was burnt, right? And burnt offerings were for an atonement of sin or symbolizing their total surrender and dependence upon the Lord. For a peace offering, only the fatty portions of the animals were burnt, and it was for a celebration for the restoration of peace and returning back to God, right? So verse 6 says, "And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar." Verse 7. Then he took the book of the covenant, which has all of the laws in it, and read in the hearing of the people, and they said, "All that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient." So he read all the laws we've just went through from Exodus 20 to 23, and again they agreed to obey them. Verse 8. And Moses took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, "This is the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you according to all these words." Verse 9. Then Moses went up, also Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. Verse 10. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clarity. So we don't know if they saw him like in his fullness or just a portion. We know from scripture that Moses was only able to see his back, but that's further down in Exodus. But it doesn't specify what the others were able to see at this particular meeting with God. Verse 11 says, "But on the nobles of the children of Israel he did not lay his hand, so they saw God, and they ate and drank." Verse 12. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone and the law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them." Verse 13. So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. So now we know that Joshua was not only one of the leaders for the army, as one that would lead the fighting, but we also know now that he is actually Moses' assistant. Verse 14 says, "And he said to the elders, wait here for us until we come back to you. Indeed, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has a difficulty, let him go to them." So he leaves Aaron and Hur in charge. Remember, Aaron and Hur were the ones that kept Moses' arms lifted so that the children of Israel would prevail when they were fighting against the Amalekites. So he's leaving those two in charge as he go up to the mountain. Verse 15 says, "Then Moses went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain." Verse 16, "Now the glory of the Lord rested on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the seventh day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud." Verse 17, "The sight of the glory of the Lord was like a consuming fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel." So maybe what Aaron and Moses and Joshua and the elders saw was the cloud. I'm not sure. Or maybe they saw the consuming fire. I don't know. Verse 18 says, "So Moses went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights." So Moses went deeper into that manifested presence of God and stayed there for 40 days and 40 nights. So we'll see what's going to happen if he comes out, what's going to happen when he comes out. We'll find out as we continue in Exodus chapter 25. God bless.